Welcome back to the Survivalist 2008 YouTube channel. My name is John. This video is going to be some of my thoughts and my 2 cents worth on portable HF stations and maybe some alternative ideas that you haven't thought about. You know, there's a lot of people that are prepping, survivalist type people like myself. There's a lot of backpackers who would like to have some kind of a station where maybe they could carry in very light setup and use to monitor or even transmit. And of course it would also apply to other ham radio operators like myself who'd like to go out and do a portable operation and would like to go lightweight. So this particular video is going to be on a couple of specific alternative ideas. So stand by and we'll be right back in just a few moments. In this video, I'll be talking about an alternative idea to an actual HF transceiver. Now, the radio on top is a representative radio of what I'd like to talk about, and this is the particular one that I bought, but there's so many other ones just like this on the market, on eBay and Amazon, literally hundreds of little portable radios that might suit your needs as an alternative to a transceiver, such as on the bottom, which is the ICOM 706 Mark II-G. An excellent radio, but you may not actually want to transmit. If you're a family or an individual, a small family or a small group, you may not actually want to do any transmitting, not with an HF radio. I'll show you some alternatives in a little bit later in this video and maybe some items that you might need to transmit with on a local basis. But what you may need is something that's very lightweight and portable, something that you can backpack for less than a couple of pounds, and you can hook up very easily in a stealth type situation in the woods or wherever, and you can listen to everything you'll need to listen to. Now, this would be for an individual or for a small family or a small group. If you're a larger group and you have a prepper group and you've designated some one individual to be a radio specialist, maybe that person is only going to be carrying all of his equipment in a backpack, and everyone else may share the other equipment that he would normally carry. So maybe he's your radio man that has a rather hefty bag. He could carry the ICOM or the Yaesu FT817 or some other smaller radio that he could transmit on. But in this video, I'd like to talk specifically about a radio that you might just want to receive with. Now, when I began looking for a portable radio to suit my needs, I wanted one that would cover AM, FM, as well as sideband and CW. That's the key. You really want to look for a radio that is designed to pick up single sideband and Morse code. Now, you may not want to copy Morse code, but the fact is that a radio, or just a normal AM radio, will not pick up sideband or Morse code because they don't have a beat frequency oscillator built in. It's very important that you look for one that has single sideband capabilities, because most all of the ham radio operators, when they're discussing topics or have some news or information they want to give out to other hams, they're usually transmitting on single sideband. Also, the military transmits an awful lot of their radio traffic on single sideband, and you certainly want to be able to pick that up. Now, of course, the military and the government also encrypts a lot of their transmissions, so you would not be able to copy that. But if you had a radio like this, you're going to be able to copy not only ham radio traffic, and not only are you going to hear all of the shortwave traffic, but you're also going to hear the regular AM broadcast band, FM broadcast band, and anything that you could hear on sideband, which is very, very important. Now, I decided to purchase the DGen DE1103 radio basically because of the features that I've described and also the price point. I think this radio is about $56 on eBay. But there's literally many other manufacturers that also offer these same features. Now, I think this radio probably is made in China, but to me it's an excellent radio with an excellent value. So do your own due diligence in looking for whatever radio that you would like to select, but make sure you get single sideband coverage, and look for some other features that are specific to that radio. Now, this radio has a couple of features that I really like. It has a narrow wideband selector, which is excellent for selecting your stations maybe on a band that's crowded and improving the audio. It also has a fine-tuning knob, which is especially useful and almost critical when tuning in sideband. You'll use the front or the main tuning dial on the front to select whatever band, and you'll of course tune that in to the approximate location of the signal. And of course sideband has a little bit of a Donald Duck sound to it until you get it tuned in, and you can tell if you're going high or low. But once you get it centered, then you can take this fine tuning knob and bring the audio in to where it sounds normal, and you'll eventually tune it in where you can tell what they're saying and it sounds like a normal conversation. So I like the narrow wide switch as well as the fine tuning switch. Now we'll take a look at the other end of this specific radio, and you can see of course it has input for a AC power adapter that you can use in house current. It on the back, I won't show you, but it does have a door that it holds 4 AA batteries, and if you have some type of a solar charging system, you could literally stay in the field forever using this type of radio to receive all the information you would need. Of course, you also see that it would have a earplug or a headphone jack, excellent for stealth camping if you want to stay low-key and quiet. It also has a DX and local switch, which is another excellent way of isolating the type of signal that you would like to receive. So it gives you that option, either a DX, which means a distant, long distance, or local, more stronger signals. So you would put that on the local if it's a local AM station, for example. Now the top jack you see is an external antenna jack where you can take a monaural 2-conductor mono plug, and I think it's 1/8 inch, and insert that, and if you have that plug hooked up to an external antenna, then you could use that and bypass the internal antenna. Of course, you can always take just a long 50 or 70 foot piece of wire. It can be small wire, it doesn't have to be large, and put an alligator clip and just clip it right onto the telescoping built-in telescoping antenna. And we'll be doing a demonstration of this in just a moment to show you just how important it is to have an outside antenna. So we'll be doing that in just a moment, so we'll be right back.
So the AM radio has been a blessing. I'm really glad I took the plunge and
Okay, we're tuned into a 75 meter single sideband conversation. Let me show you the importance of some type of an exterior antenna. We're hooked up to an 80 meter dipole now with a short jumper cable. Now I'll disconnect. A short 50-foot piece of wire would do wonders.
Radio and computer savvy, and he was researching artifacts.
Well, before we end this presentation, I would like to bring you a couple of other alternative ideas for localized radio traffic in and around your campsite, maybe in and around the generalized area of your location in a certain part of the woods or whatever. On the right, I'm sure you're familiar with the family radio service type radios. Those are FM, and they're fairly short range communication, probably less than a mile. If you're from mountaintop to mountaintop, if it's direct line of sight, you may get quite a bit more than that. But in most conditions, it would be great for campsite to campsite, lookout back to central post or whatever. But remember, there's a lot of people on those specific frequencies, and it's kind of channelized, so you really can't change frequencies. Now on the left, you'll see an actual ham radio transceiver. This is a little handy-talkie, and I believe you pronounce it Wooshon, but I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But I've had this radio for quite a long time, and it's a very good little radio. It is a dual bander. It's the Wooshon KG UV2D. That's King George Uniform Victor 2 David. And you can get these online for probably about $100, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And they have an excellent transmit area as far as bandwidth. You've got all of this one is a 2 meter. It also, this particular one covers 6 meters, I believe. But you have some that works 2 meters and 440. And they also have capabilities of going out of band. Now, I'm not proposing that you do that. I am a licensed amateur radio operator. I'm just telling you what this radio is capable of doing. It will transmit out of the ham radio bands. So this would have a little more range. I think this radio is probably 3-4 watts, maybe 5 watts. I don't remember exactly. But there's plenty of reviews online on YouTube about this particular radio. That would be a great choice for a prepper group, a survivalist group, some type of group that may have a centralized communication center. If you had 5 or 6 outposts with this radio, I think you'd cover probably well within a couple, 3-4 miles. I've actually communicated on simplex for quite a few miles. That means you're not going through a repeater. But it's also possible that you could actually design and build your own low-power repeater that you can maybe set on top of a mountain or something nearby. I will probably be doing a little more in-depth review and conversation about the Wooshon at a later time, but I just wanted to incorporate that in with this particular video to let you know if you just wanted to receive HF, a portable radio like the DGen would work great. And then if you needed some localized communication around camp, back to some scouts or lookouts or other backpackers, either one of these 2 radios in the front would be excellent choices. So that about wraps it up for this video. I appreciate you watching as always, and thanks for stopping by the Survivalist 2008 channel. And until next time, take care.